awareness about your general health aims to engage and empower you to choose healthy behaviors and make changes that reduce the risk of developing body complications. This is why Health Matters got you covered. Every Thursday, 8 to 9 p.m. on MKTV channel, you will have all your health questions answered. I am your host, Apeti Ameka Ivy.
Sanaa ni uti wa mgongo wa kila jamii. Basi MKTV channel imekuandalia awamu ya msanii wa sanaa ambayo itakuwa inakujia kila siku ya Jumanne kuanzia milango ya saa 1 hadi saa 3 usiku. Ungana nami mzee mzima Moses Mshairi ndani ya MKTV channel.
Raising awareness about your general health aims to engage and empower you to choose healthy behaviors and make changes that reduce the risk of developing body complications. This is why Health Matters got you covered. Every Thursday, 8 to 9 p.m. on MKTV channel, you will have all your health questions answered. I am your host, Apeti Ameka Ivy. Welcome to MKTV channel. This is Health Matters with me, Apeti Ameka Ivy. Health Matters come to you every Thursday from 7 to 8 p.m. on MKTV channel. Remember to follow us on all our social media platforms, MKTV channel on Facebook, MKTV_channel 254 on Instagram. Follow us on Twitter at MKTV254 and subscribe to our YouTube channel, MKTV channel. Now, HIV is a virus that causes AIDS. It causes the body immune system to go low. So today we want to know how antiretroviral therapy works and how ART also works. We also want to know how PEP and PrEP can be used by patients. Today I am joined by Mercy Macheta, who is a HIV testing and counseling service provider, and she's here today to discuss with us how we can prevent contacting HIV, how we can use PEP and PrEP, and how ART works. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Can you introduce yourself?
Okay, thank you. As she has said, I'm Mercy Macheta, and I'm a HTS provider, HIV testing service provider, and that here is counselor. I've worked in this career for like 2.5 years, to be precise. I started as a volunteer and later on graduated, getting some employment here and there. I've worked in various facilities. And what made me really like adventure into this HIV testing service providing services is one time I was like in an attachment in a facility in Nairobi. But that is where I gained the momentum, because the facility, the organization was dealing mostly with needy children, those families that have HIV and AIDS, or one of family members has it. And what really made me is one case that I was working on. It was a little child, and the child was staying with the grandparents. So, but the child was infected, was reactive with the HIV. So the parents, the grandparents, were not like interested in the child learning, because they were thinking like this child even won't grow up to age 18 to finish with the education. She will just die like 2 to 3 months. So that one gave me the momentum to go on and do more. Just know what is all about, how they can take the drugs, and that's what made me come to this field.
Right.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for that long and brief introduction. So, I want us to just go directly to the basics.
Okay.
And I know people know what HIV is, and we will continue reminding them in our subsequent discussions. So, what are the signs and symptoms that one can realize in their bodies without being tested of HIV?
Okay, thank you. HIV has like 4 stages: the infection stage, the clinical latency or the symptomatic stage, and then full-blown AIDS, and then death. So before, even if someone is infected, it will take like 2 to 6 weeks for someone to start showing those signs, but they won't be that severe. Someone might have headache, fever in the body, sore throat, reddish itches on the body, but which will disappear with some time. So those can be some of the signs someone can start seeing, so that she or he can start noticing, maybe I've contracted HIV or I've not contracted HIV. They might come like symptoms like any other disease. But the most important thing, when you see such symptoms, you just go to the hospital. If it is being tested, you go get tested to know if really you're having HIV or it is another disease in your body.
So basically, we are just supposed to go and test HIV without assuming any other infection.
Okay, you can just go and test. If it is negative, then you go test another disease that you think you might be having. Those can also be signs of other disease maybe that you're having in your body. But just to be sure about it is not HIV, it is another disease, it is better to go get tested.
And after how long can one get correct results of HIV after being at a risk of infection? Maybe I've involved myself in an accident, maybe this morning. So after how long will the results maybe test positive if I've contracted the disease, or negative?
Okay, first of all, even if you have unprotected sex today in the morning, you come to a facility, you go get tested. You won't even know if you're having that HIV. So it depends how the HIV replicates itself in your body. It might take 2 to 6 weeks or 3 months, so that you get to know if I'm HIV positive or I'm HIV negative. Yes.
So I think up to this juncture, you should explain to our audience how this disease is spread.
Okay.
Yes.
It's not all about sexual, having unprotected
Because
sex.
you mentioned that first.
Yeah. It's not
Yeah.
only that way.
Yeah.
You can also have blood transfusion, but if the blood is having the virus, if the blood is infected with the virus, you can get it, and you're HIV negative. Mother to child transmission, when the mother is HIV positive, but the mother is also breastfeeding, but is not taking her drugs. So that way, you might get infected. The child might get infected. Yes. Another way is sharing unsterilized tools with maybe someone who is HIV positive. And then you're sharing like needles, razor blade with that person who is HIV positive. So kila mtu akwe na unde yake, kila mtu akwe na sindano yake. Yes. And also you can get this disease for those people who are using who are drug users, but they are using injectables, drug users. Those people taking heroin. So you see, you will have to intravenous. You'll have to take that drug to intravenous method.
Yeah.
So maybe the person is having HIV, the other person is not having HIV. That person can get HIV.
HIV.
Yes.
Oh, okay. And I think among many others, when you started explaining, you started with maybe having unprotected sex, and I think this is where so many youth and so many adolescents they can contact this disease through unprotected sex. Currently, we are talking of teenage pregnancies in Kakamega County, teenage pregnancies to school-going kids, you know. So it's so evident that people are not using protective measures like the use of condoms to protect themselves, right? So I think we should briefly explain to them how a condom is used. And I think there are so many susceptibles out there where the government is placing condoms for these kids to use, but they are not using it. So kids or adolescents or young women or young men out here are at a high risk of HIV, at the same time pregnancy, right?
Okay.
Yeah. So could you just 2 or 30 seconds explain to them how they can use a condom?
But I just want to tell the teenagers, if it is possible, just abstain from sex until the rightful age, and then you start having sex. But if you can't delay gratification, then use protective measures like a condom. And I would have done it better with the demonstration. But if you're a lady, you also need to know how to use a condom. If you're a man, you also need to know how to use a condom. Do not use your teeth to open the condom. Don't use a razor blade, don't use a scissors. Use your hands to tear the serrated part of the condom. After that, you ensure the condom is out of the sachet. And it does not have air bubbles inside. So as you remove the condom, ensure there is no air in the condom. You pinch at the tip, then you roll it.
You roll it backwards.
You roll it backwards, and then it should be on an erected penis. Yes.
So will that help the condom not to burst?
The condom is already lubricated, but before someone needs to take those measures before even putting on that condom to ensure the condom has not busted before you put it on. Yeah.
Right. So I think we'll do that better with a demonstration in our subsequent shows. All right. So before we take this break, I would like you to tell us where someone can get a HIV test.
Okay, thank you. HIV test can be gotten in facilities that are offering those services. And nowadays, in government hospitals, HIV test is free. Condoms are free. Yes. So you can get those services in a facility that is offering HIV testing services.
Right.
Yes.
So is it all the facilities, or there are specific facilities that offer the service?
I want to say all government institutions offer HIV services that are free of charge. There are also private institutions that offer those HIV services. You know, HIV is also inclusive of counseling, because there is pre-test counseling and post-test counseling. So there are facilities that are offering those services, but government institutions or facilities, they offer it freely. Even condoms are free. Yes.
All right. So today I go have a HIV test. After how long should I come back for another test? Or if I test negative today, should I just go freely and walk freely because I'm HIV free?
Okay, guidelines have changed. Like long time ago, someone will test today and then wait like 3 months, then come back test, or 2 months, come back test. But guidelines are changing. And I just want to say that if you go to a testing facility, HIV testing facility, and you're HIV negative, I think before even you go, they go to you and you give your consent on testing. They have cancelled you, so that when I'm HIV negative, what will it be implying to me? And then after also the result, you need to be cancelled, because that does, or I won't even contract that disease. Let's say those people who engage in risky behaviors, that is, they have multiple sexual partners, they are using injectable those people using drugs, those people sharing like razor and sterilized in tools. So, and you go test your negative. That tells you that you need to change your ways. If you are having multiple sexual partners, you reduce those multiple sexual partners.
Do you reduce or just remain with one?
You reduce, that means you just remain with one. You just become faithful. If you're married, you become faithful. If you're sharing those sterilized objects with other people, you start having yours. Yeah. So that will help you maintain a negative status. And so those people who test and then they find out that positive, they're also counseling. Someone will be cancelled, will be told how you can live positively. The first thing when you test and you find yourself you're positive, it is accepting your status. Yani nimejikubali nina hizo virusi, I want to stay with those.
Acceptance.
Yes, you accept. And if you are engaging in other activities like having multiple sexual partners and you're positive, you now slow down.
Right.
Because you might be having HIV, this is A, someone is having B. So you go on having those multiple sexual partners, you find out that strand that you're having has even taken B, has even taken C. So even treating it will be difficult. Yeah. So if you find yourself you're positive, you accept your status first. So that you know I'm living and I'm living positively. The only thing I need to do is to adhere to those medication. If I'm to take at 8, I need just to take them at 8. I need to eat well, I need to accept. And that is how you see some people, they tested positive 30 years ago, but they are still here because they accepted their status, they are taking their medication, they are living well.
You've said that when one goes for HIV testing, there's pre-counseling and post-counseling. Now, nowadays, we've been introduced to self-test kits, and I think they're around. You'll show us how to use them. There are self-test kits, so meaning I'll grab my kit, go with it in the house and test myself. Where will I get the counseling? Because I think it will be so necessary, because imagine I walk in my house, I test myself, then I find I'm positive.
Okay, thank you. Let me add something on how long can I take to test when I'm tested. When I'm engaging in risky activities, and I find out I'm negative, but deep down I know maybe this person wasn't even negative. Nimekuja tu peke yangu, my partner is back at home. So I can stay like 3 months, I come back.
Exactly 3 months.
Yeah, 3 months I come back and test. If I find out I'm negative, those are just like 6 months kutoka the first test. I find out I'm negative, I'll go back home, stay another 3 months. Those are 9 months.
Yeah.
So I come back and they're negative. Now I'll start testing annually. So come on, I tested this August. Nikapatikana sina, and those are 9 months down the line. So meaning I'm just negative. So from here, I'll wait up to next year, August, if I've changed my ways. That is, I'm not engaging in sexual activities. I'm not having multiple sexual partners, or those activities I'm not in. So it is just I've changed my outcome positive. So the tester, that provider who is giving me those HIV services, will test me. There will come another person, a second tester, but we need to tell you about the consent. So wewe mwenyewe ndio kutupatia consent. You can go. Yeah, you can't be tested without giving yourself that consent. And someone should know that whatever we are discussing between me and you should remain between me and you. I don't need to go out, confidentiality. I don't need to go out and say, Ivy has tested positive. No, you can even sue me. Someone's status is his or her status. Ni siri yake. If she decides to go and tell somebody else, it is upon her, because mwenyewe ndo amejikubali. But there are some cases that we breach some confidentiality if we need to disclose the status. Yeah. So if I test, like today, I found out I'm positive, the second tester will come and test me so that they can know if they link me and then enroll me to start taking those drugs. So the second test after me test, and they confirm the results that you are positive. So that should tell you that the first test inaonyesha I'm positive. Second, I'm positive, so my status is positive. I need to accept. So that's how they start linking you. You start getting enrolled, start taking drugs, and then it is also don't go somewhere else and go start testing again. That person can come and test as a new test. Kids zilifanya, these kids are in government hospitals, they are just the same kids. In private, they are the same kids that they are using. So they can't, if you've been tested twice, you know, people were saying nikitestiwa tu mara moja, so they introduced the second tester so that someone to know hii results si wewe ulinipatia. Pia kuna mtu mwingine alikuja ka witness these results that are mine. So that you don't go to another facility, test as new, unakuja unasema I'm new.
Okay, so I think when you come back, you will tell us how someone can tackle the results after testing privately using the home test kits. So we are going for a short break. Remember to share this video, like our Facebook page, MKTV channel, subscribe to our YouTube channel, MKTV channel, follow us on Twitter, MKTV254, and follow us on Instagram also, MKTV_channel 254. My name is Apeti Ameka Ivy. This is Health Matters. We'll be right back. About your general health aims to engage and empower you to choose healthy behaviors and make changes that reduce the risk of developing body complications. This is why Health Matters got you covered. Every Thursday, 8 to 9 p.m. on MKTV channel, you will have all your health questions answered. I am your host, Apeti Ameka Ivy. Welcome back to Health Matters. This is MKTV channel, and today we are, remember, I'm joined by Mercy, who is a HTC service provider. And before we took the break, we were to know how someone can tackle the results after testing privately at home using the self-test kit. Welcome back to the show. Before we continue, I would like you to tell us how we can tackle or approach the results after testing privately at home, putting in mind that there is no one to take us through counseling.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you. These self-test kits you can find in government institution. You can also buy in pharmacies. Yeah. So because if you are buying this kit in a pharmacy, there is no counseling given there. But if you're doing it in a government institution or a private facility, you might get these services, counseling, pre-test counseling. So they'll also give you instructions of how to use it. But also these kits have instructions inside them. Yeah. So it is like a psychological thing. So when you go, you get this kit. They even will get the kits itself, the buffer. You also get instructions inside it.
Okay, so you're given you're cancelled before you're given this kit.
Yes.
You go with it at home.
Yes.
You test.
Yes.
Then after getting the results, will you come back or just?
You need to come back. Yeah, you need to come back. Tell us what were the results.
Ah.
You see, you can even get this kit. You go and you find some inconclusive results. Maybe you didn't use the right amount of specimen you needed to take, or the amount of saliva that you are required to take wasn't enough, so you'll get inconclusive results. You don't know what if these results are correct, so you need to come back.
Right.
And then if you go test and then you find you are positive, also you need to go back to the facility so that you explain, I tested and I saw this and this, so that you can be tested again using the determine, and then they confirm the results using the first response, and then after the results, you're given way forward.
Now, right now, I'd like you to tell us, why is it so necessary for all pregnant women to test their HIV results?
Thank you. First of all, before you become pregnant, you've had unprotected sex. That is the first thing.
Yes.
Yeah. Because you cannot become pregnant when you had
Protected sex.
Yes. So you had unprotected sex.
Yes.
So you need to know your status, because first of all, you're carrying two lives, yours and the infant inside you. Yeah. So the fetus inside you. So you need to know your status. So if you're positive, you will be enrolled to take drugs so that it can prevent the infection of HIV to the fetus. At the same time, you're immune. When you become pregnant, you're sharing your immune. So una share immune yako with the child. Yeah. So if you become pregnant and your immune is low and you're having HIV, it will be so difficult. So they need to be given that first test so that to decide if she's negative. We need to give her drugs so that it can prevent infection. The infection. And also it will help the mother during delivery. They deliver the mother knowing very well the mother is positive, so that the child cannot be infected during childbirth. Yes.
So does this also apply to any other person?
Anybody should go and test their results. When you your status, when you know your status, it is better than that person who doesn't know their status. You will know your status, you'll know how to live, you'll know how to do whatever you want to do. That does not mean when you're positive, you cannot have your dreams. Yeah. You cannot have your goals, you cannot achieve them, you'll achieve them. But if you know your status, you'll know how I need to achieve them, at which pace. Why should I do this? How should my kids grow up? Should my kids also know their status? You see, yeah. Everybody who is at the edge of knowing their status should just go and test. It is free. When something is free in Kenya,
I know.
Kimbilia kwenda kujua. Those things that are being paid for. Yeah. Nobody can access. Those poor people in the society, most people in the society cannot get them because it is being paid. But something that it is free, it is available to you. Even the drugs are free. Just go know your status. Yes.
So after I've tested positive, how long does HIV take so that it becomes AIDS? It graduates to AIDS now?
Yeah, earlier on I told you that there are stages. Yeah. And that does not say that someone cannot move from that infection stage to full-blown AIDS. Yeah. So it depends with also the immune system, with also the
system of an individual,
and also the activities this person is engaging in. So unaweza kakuwa na mtu but wewe unadhani he's in the infection stage, kumbe he has been having that disease in that person for so long, but he or she has not been going for medication, she has not even gone to test,
or they didn't even realize.
Yeah, they are also having some STDs in them. They are in opportunistic diseases like TB. They are having like pneumonia. Hizo vitu zitatoka tuko and then they make that person aende chini. So that it graduates. So someone even can be having HIV but is not showing any signs and symptoms. Yes.
These are asymptomatic people.
Yeah,
right?
asymptomatic.
Yeah.
But what is doing in the body, inside the body, it is just damaging the organs. Yes. Because immune yako, it's so low. It cannot fight any other disease.
Exactly.
Yes. But when some people also ask, if I start taking those drugs, they start showing that I'm having HIV.
HIV, yeah.
If you just stop taking those drugs, HIV inakuanga na vitina sana.
Oh.
Yes, it will even show signs. It will also tell people niko nayo. But if you're taking it, you're living your life. There's no way you take that medication and then vitina zianze. Yes, the body will just start. The immune system will start being boosted.
Yeah.
The CD4 cells in your body, the viral load in your body will start being low. There are people even who have taken these drugs, they have suppressed the drug, the viral load in them is so suppressed.
Yes.
When they go to do their blood tests, they find out that it is undetectable. The virus in the body is undetectable. That does not mean the person does not have HIV. She or he has the HIV, but it is undetectable. So the rate at which that person will transmit that disease, it is low compared to this person mwenye ako nayo and is not taking the drugs. Yes.
Okay, so before we take a break, tell us what antiretroviral therapy is.
Antiretroviral therapy, these are drugs. Nowadays they're called highly antiretroviral therapy. You see, research has been done. Nowadays people are even taking one drug for HIV.
Okay.
Yes.
One drug per day? Or?
Yeah.
Do we?
Yes.
All right.
Yeah. So they advanced so that these drugs can be able to boost your immune system. They can fight. They can fight the virus in the body. They can help you. You see nowadays people mtu anakaa tu vizuri but the person is having
HIV.
so they're taking this heart. So it helps you. It helps to boost your immune system. So people, they have their regimens of which they can take those drugs. Depending, we are dealing with a man, a woman, a child, a pregnant mother. So they have different regimens of which they can take.
So ART depends.
Oh yeah, age, your gender, yeah, the situation you're in. If you're pregnant, yes.
So we have the post-exposure prophylaxis and the pre-exposure prophylaxis that are used to prevent someone from getting the virus. How?
So PrEP, they call it PrEP.
PrEP, yes. PrEP and PEP.
Pre-exposure HIV negative people.
HIV negative people.
You need to be HIV negative before you start taking PrEP. Because why should you give you PrEP when you're HIV positive? So it will be taken to someone. Maybe you're going to have sexual intercourse with someone, and that someone unamshuku sana, maybe hataki kwenda kufanya nini, kupimwa. So those PrEP, you'll take it 7 days prior to engaging in any risky activity. 7 days prior. Yeah. Same you want to go to engage like next Monday, so you go start taking those drugs 7 days to your
to that day.
Yeah, to that day.
Right.
So after that day, you'll continue, because if you're still having any affair or engaging in any risky behavior with that person, you continue taking those drugs. The dosage is 28. So you'll take for 28 days. But that does not mean you cannot use a condom. You need to also use
protect yourself.
Yeah, protect yourself using condoms at that time, even if you've taken that PrEP. PrEP can also be given to pregnant mothers. Maybe the mother is pregnant, but the partner is not that faithful. Yeah, the pregnant mother can take PrEP. Yes, but PrEP cannot be given to adolescents. Those young people. Why? Why should you use PrEP? Age matters when taking PrEP. But PrEP, post-exposure.
Yeah.
So you've already exposed yourself.
Exactly.
Yes. Either you had protected, but the condom busted.
Yeah.
Yes. So you can go, and the other person, you don't know their status. So you can go, be given. The PrEP is also for 30 days. But that one, you need to take it before 72 hours elapses. Yeah, Yeah, so you,
before 72 hours.
Yes.
So immediately after it happened, you can rush to the health facility to be given PEP.
yes,
All
you
right.
can PEP. But it's also good you carry your partner, because you can be going just be given PEP, maybe your partner is negative. Yes.
So you must be sure of the other person's status.
Yes, and if you're someone who consistently bursts when you have intercourse,
Does it consistently burst?
yes, yani some people are rough, so the condom can burst anytime that person engages in any coitus. The condom burst. So there's no need of you coming each time you're having sexual intercourse to condom burst. Each time unakuja unapewa PEP. So if you're that kind of a person, the first day you come, you've been exposed, you've been given that PEP, we'll just allow you to take that PEP for that it is. But we introduce you to PrEP. Yeah. Instead of coming each time for PEP, why don't you just take PEP? Because PrEP. Because you'll be engaging in a sexual activity each time, but unajikinga.
Right.
You know.
So you stop PEP, then start PrEP.
Yeah.
Right.
But you'll still continue using that condom of yours.
Yeah, condom is a must, right?
Yeah.
So I think we should take a break from here first before we come back and know how HIV patients live positively, how they can positively live while embracing this infection. This is Health Matters, as I told you. Share this video. We'll be right back. About your general health aims to engage and empower you to choose healthy behaviors and make changes that reduce the risk of developing body complications. This is why Health Matters got you covered. Every Thursday, 8 to 9 p.m. on MKTV channel, you will have all your health questions answered. I am your host, Apetsi Ameka Ivy. Thank you so much for keeping it MKTV channel. This is Health Matters coming to you every Thursday from 7 to 8 p.m. Today we are discussing matters HIV, human immunodeficiency virus. Right? Before we took a break, we were being explained how PEP and PrEP, pre-exposure prophylaxis and exposure, prophylaxis are being used. So right now, I'd like us to know how people living with HIV can embrace it and live positively. Right?
Okay.
What are the tips?
Thank you. So when you find out you're HIV positive, the first thing is you need to accept your status.
Acceptance.
Yeah, acceptance is the key. Because even if you start medication and you've not accepted your status, you won't be doing right to yourself. Because you need to know how I can live now that I have this disease, how I need to associate with other people around me, how it is affecting me or affecting those people around me.
Yes.
Your doctor. So if you're so comfortable, that medication has time, you can afford to go. So you need to know when, how you keep your time. You need to eat well, nutritious food, so that they can add some nutrients in your body, and also to improve also your immune system. So even as much as that drug that you're taking, it is helping you to improve your immune system. Also the foods you're taking also should be able to improve your immune system. You also need to avoid.
So when someone is given the medicines, are they advised on what to eat and what not to?
Yes, adherence. They also, so after someone has gone from the doctor, they also have that adherence counselor who takes them through nutritious food, what to do, what not to do, what to eat. Yes, but generally people eat, but you just need to eat nutritious food. So you also need to avoid taking of alcohol or using of drugs. Yes, because those drugs can do more damage to your body than you expected. And now that your immune system is not that as strong as it used to be, so there is no need you continue taking drugs, smoking, and at the same time unajaribu mwili yako. Yeah. Also, you also need to go get tested for STDs or STIs, so that if it is STD, you get treated na hiyo STD inakuwa felt. At the same time also,
does that apply to people also who have been born with HIV?
So it is somehow different, but who told you those people are not having?
Okay, they are.
They are. Sure. So also you need drugs. At the same time, you also need to change your behavior.
In terms of what?
In terms of if you're having multiple sexual partners, you stop. If you're sharing needles, you stop. Also, you need to take care of yourself. And at large, the society, the community should also love and take care of that person. Your stigma. Yeah. You see, someone can be taking those drugs, can be eating very well, but the stigma is what is making that person to even lose weight, to look like that person is not taking drugs. Yes, you need to love those people. In fact, I advise the society, it is good when someone knows their status and they know they are positive and they are taking drugs. It is helping you, it is helping the other generation, because we are reducing the rate of infection, and that person has accepted that she or he is positive. The only thing we need to do is to care for them, love them, show them that we are with them. Yeah, work with them. That way we'll be able to reduce the rate of infection. It will also be telling you that now this person has accepted their status. Also, let me go get tested. Let me go live positively. Let me go know the other person's status. Yes. It will also tell you how this society can be built, even with these people who are
with the people who are living with HIV.
Yes.
All right, we are in the midst of COVID-19 at the moment. So, is there any way the HIV patients are affected in terms of the drug supply or how they're getting the services?
No. The HIV drugs have been there, even before Corona and even after Corona. So the drugs have been there. In fact, they are the first who are given first priority. Yes.
Awesome.
So there's no shortage of those drugs in the institution. People are getting those drugs. People are taking them. Even if those people go test for the first time, they find themselves that positive, that there's drugs. Mtu asikukataze kwenda hospitali because you get tested when you're positive. There's no drugs. Drugs are there. People are taking drugs. So go take your drugs. Go get tested.
So in conclusion, you came with the testing kit, self-test. So I would like you to just take us through a short demo. I don't know if I'll test myself or you'll test yourself or we won't test, but I want you to just make us through, tell us how we can use the self-test while at home.
Okay, thank you. Just testing is private. Someone's status is private. So I'll just demonstrate.
So I can't test then look at my results in private, like I don't show them?
No, we'll go kwanza cancel cancel you before we start testing.
Okay.
So this kit has instructions. So there's someone that it is written here. So here, and then there's instruction. It is in Kiswahili and in English.
Yeah.
So they consider both languages. Someone can be knowing Kiswahili na hajui Kizungu.
Okay.
So yeah. And it also has pictorial. You see.
You have the pictures.
You have the pictures.
Yeah.
So the first step, it is telling you jinsi ya kutumia oral quick. Yeah.
Oh, so this is called oral quick.
Yeah.
Oral, from the word oral.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you need to have a timer. This test takes like 20 minutes. Exactly 20 minutes, read your results. Isipite 20 minutes. So they have told you this is how it is. In this packet, there are two. There is a buffer. It is this way. This way.
Okay.
Yeah. So this one, this is what we are using to swab in your mouth.
In your mouth.
But this one is the buffer that we use to test, to put in the saliva and you enter here. So this one is a stand for putting in this buffer. Yeah. So they have demonstrated you. You will tear each compartment.
Should we tear?
Should we?
Yeah, we can.
Don't tear. So it has its compartments. So this one, unatear, you get your buffer, ile kichupa. Yeah. So you use your fingers to unclip it, to open it.
To open it. Okay, it's demonstrated there.
Yeah, it's demonstrated here. So after that, make sure you're not pouring it. It should be straight so that you can be able to put it in the stand.
Yeah.
So after that, you have to swab, but don't touch this test kit with your hands here, because this is where you need to swab in your mouth.
In your mouth.
So you'll just touch the upper side.
Oh, it's been shown clearly where to.
Not down here. So you swab.
So what amount of saliva am I supposed to take?
It should be just a good amount, because when you're swabbing from your left to your right and your right to your left, you'll be picking
saliva.
Yeah. So also on the upper gum you swab, then on your lower gum you swab from right to left.
So the essence is making sure that it's all wet with saliva.
Yeah, all wet.
Right?
So when you swab using your upper gum, the upper side, you also turn it so that the other side you swab with it. Yes. So that both sides they have saliva.
Yeah.
And then you touch. You see the way that I've told you how you're going to
how to insert it.
And then you insert in that buffer. And then you wait for 20 minutes and then you read your results.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, awesome. So I can see this one is for blood.
Yes.
But this one is so rare. Insti is rare. I think it's not yet in the country. It's only this one I found. It was found in Nairobi, and it's not yet in other places. But I think it can be found in chemists.
Yeah.
And that is the simpler way of testing your HIV status while you are at the comfort of your bedroom, at the comfort of your sitting room, at the comfort of your home, right?
Yes.
So as we finish, what do you have to tell them?
I like to tell you that HIV is not a big disease. It is just a virus. It's a viral infection. So when you go get tested, know your status, live while you know your status. change your behavior, practice well, living, eating, so that tomorrow people might look at you and say this person knew his status and she's living well. So tujue hali yetu, tujikinge na tuishi vyema.
Tujue hali yetu, tujikinge na tuishi vyema. Thank you so much for keeping it MKTV channel. This has been Health Matters, and I'm sure you've been enlightened and you'll be going to check your HIV status. Remember to also keep safe. We are in the midst of COVID-19. I know you're putting on your mask, you're keeping social distance, you're staying at home where necessary. We have come to the end of the show also. Until next Thursday, have a good night. Raising awareness about your general health aims to engage and empower you to choose healthy behaviors and make changes that reduce the risk of developing body complications. This is why Health Matters got you covered. Every Thursday, 8 to 9 p.m. on MKTV channel, you will have all your health questions answered. I am your host, Apeti Ameka Ivy.
When physical classes were halted, learning at ZTech University was taken to another level. A majority of our students have embraced online classes, with 91% undertaking their exams online. The university has supported all our learners with free data bundles to ease the learning process.
Online studies mean convenience and personalized attention. The lectures are recorded for you to ease the revision process. You also get to save a lot from the discounted fees, and at the same time, there are no transport costs involved.
As we prepare to welcome the over 1,900 students who chose to study with us through COOP's government sponsorship program, we also welcome you for the ZTech experience.
Apply today for the July intake. Classes commence on 13th July for the self-sponsored and government-sponsored students.